I wanted to go back to the social media marketing.
Okay.
So, and I agree that it's been both, and this seems to be a theme today, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing in getting your name out there. It's a curse in the fact that it makes you so accessible that the money isn't being spent and they're not attending. Why go see a set if I can watch it on YouTube the next day and not pay for the money, for the ticket? So I'm wondering if you've seen any trends or anything interesting that you picked up at Opus. You've said you've started reevaluating how you're reaching out to your fans, and if you've noticed any way to use social media to help get people out to live shows, not just engage fans with your page.
Well, like you say, you put up something really personal or goofy, and then you say, and by the way, tomorrow I'll be at the space at 4:30. So you put up a picture of okay, I don't know, just something random that might relate to people on an everyday level, and then you throw it in there as a secondary thought, not as the main thought. Because everyone's coming at them every day with a show. I'm playing this show, I'm playing that show. Every day, all you see is shows. Sometimes it's so overwhelming. What show do I go to? There's nights where I have 3 different friends of mine that are playing, and what do? You have to pick one or try to go to a couple. Right. So I think that if you approach them differently, more original, with the idea of where you're playing or how you're playing, whatever. Something funny or quirky about the space or something Steve Rogers, I played with him Mighty Purple in 1982. What a great guy. Come down tomorrow, Then all of a sudden it's a little more personal. It's not just a flyer of a show.
I think also if you're going to do something unique that night of your show, something that maybe you don't always do, so if they come out to the show, you're going to show something that they've never seen before. And I think if you do something that's more of a unique, more of an eye-catcher, well, if you don't come, you're not going to see it kind of thing.
Yeah, unique stuff, different ideas.
We always try to tag on a title or it's someone's birthday show, or we're giving out this merch item tonight.
That's been working for me for a long time.
I think I'd like to add a little bit. I think that one of the things that we all forget is why people come out to bars and shows. And I think, this is my opinion, but it's based on watching this for a long time, and I think the answer is to get laid. No, I mean it seriously, even though it sounds kind of glib. I mean, if you don't need to go out and meet somebody and maybe get drunk to get laid, then you're probably not going out, right? You're going to stay home, have a little bottle of wine, and snuggle in by the television, and maybe you get laid, whatever. But unless you've been married for a long time. But my point is, the people who are going out to shows, that's their unspoken, possibly unconscious motive. And if you can figure out how your band factors into that in an active way, which is not to say that you have to have everybody stripped down when they get to the club, but what are you doing that facilitates people coming and wanting to be there and wanting to mingle and wanting to hook up?
Coming is the key word.
Single woman.
Yes.
Single woman. Lots of single women every show.
That band Orgy.
Women always get laid too,
That band Orgy always had a packed house.
Vic.
Yeah, well, I just want to contrast that a little bit, because I think that also probably, pardon me?
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Some guy, some young guy. The younger the band are, or the newer the band are, I think that's more of an issue, because people are not necessarily going just to see the band. But I think one of the things that every band needs to really aspire to, and I've watched this over the years, is, and a friend of mine put it best, he said, can you sell a hard ticket? As opposed to, can you bring a body to a bar? Especially here in Connecticut these days, we must have, how many little 200-seat theaters do we have in Connecticut? 6 or 8 of them, I mean.
Not much. It's all going away.
Well, you're not playing, but how about the Kate Theater? How about
the Kate, Infinities, Richfield Playhouse, Fairfield Theater Company. I mean, they're.
But even those hard tickets, right? I mean, so now you're not talking about let's go to the bar and meet somebody, but it's okay, we're going on a date.
Those are event things.
And it's still about I'm going to wow her or I'm going to wow him, and maybe after the nice dinner,
you're not shooting quite so generally across the room, but to wow anybody, these places.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying, how do you facilitate that?
Well,
as a
I think
band.
that's got a lot to do with how you bond with your artists. Because I think as fans bond with people, they're more likely to say, oh, they are playing at so-and-so, I'm going to go, as opposed to, oh, there's a show at...
Absolutely right. I just think that, if you bond with your audience about carburetors, you're going to have a harder sell than in a condo.
Well, sure.
That's
but,
all.
If you think about it for a minute, if you could pull, as an artist, even 100 people to a show at a $10 ticket,
That's pretty good.
you're going to get paid, you know. And to me, that's a benchmark that I try to set for bands that I work with. Let's
Without
shoot
question.
for this. Let's just get 100 people. For, you know, if you get 100
It's amazing
people,
how
you
hard
get
that
to
is.
one. It is very hard.
Very hard.
Very hard. But it's still, I think, a good benchmark that you can set for yourself. Or even if it's 50, because even if you bring 50, you're still going to get X amount of money, as opposed to going home with
Gas money if you're lucky.
right, if that.
I think it still comes down first and foremost to the music. It's gotta be, you have to have a good foundation, and the music has to be good first and foremost. Not just, I mean, I don't understand about the whole getting laid thing, trust me. But the music has to be damn good. And it has to be a live, energetic show, and people gotta wanna see it. And it has to just not just like guys sitting there like still staring at the wall playing some crap. But yes, as an all-guy band, it's always been my one thing I've always thought of is how can I get more chicks to my show? And if I can get them to come, then the guys will follow. I'm not worried about the guys. I'm worried about the girls. I always just give flyers to the girls. Here's the flyer. Get a flyer. Here, come on out. Come on out.
Girls are free, guys gotta pay.
I mean, that's for an all-guy band. Obviously, there's girl bands and yada yada.
Now the girl bands go after girls too. I mean,
That's
the truth is, no, I
God
don't mean
bless
that in a sexual way. I mean, the point is that guys will go out with their girls. They go where the girls decide to go. And
Even if they don't want to. Even if they don't
well,
want to.
that yes, but you know, it's sort of like the horrible IED principle. You know, if you kill somebody, then you killed one person. But if you injure them, then you've got 3 people off the field because 2 of them have to carry the injured guy.
Phil Rudd.
One of the greatest drummers of all time.
You have a question?
He kills, man, on those skins.
You got a question?